The dust storm was dying down on Mars. A hazy red curtain finally lifting to reveal the desolate landscape. Commander Rhea Carter, running a final diagnostic on her suit's life support, spotted something glinting near the shattered remains of the old Opportunity rover. At first, she dismissed it as just more debris, another piece of Earth's long-lost history scattered across the red planet. But then, it moved. A small figure stepped out from behind the mangled metal, its form silhouetted against the weak Martian sun. It was impossibly thin, with long, delicate limbs and skin that held a soft, bioluminescent blue glow. Its eyes, impossibly large and dark, fixed on her. It wasn't human. It was a child, an alien child, lost and alone, millions of miles from whatever home it knew. The little one trembled, clutching its chest as if in terrible pain, its breath coming in short, panicked gasps. Rhea's training screamed at her to maintain protocol, to keep her distance, to treat it as a potential threat. But her heart told her something different. Slowly, deliberately, she unsealed her helmet, letting the thin, cold air of Mars touch her face. The child flinched. "I'm not here to hurt you," she said, her voice soft, trying to project a calm she didn't feel. "It's okay. You're safe." But before the child could respond, the ground beneath them erupted. A deafening sonic blast ripped through the air, carving a deep, smoking trench just feet from where they stood. Rhea reacted on pure instinct. She lunged forward, scooping the impossibly light child into her arms and rolling behind a massive, pockmarked boulder. Above them, the red clouds tore apart. A warship broke through, its design unlike anything she'd ever seen. It was massive, black, and radiated an ancient, malevolent anger. These weren't rescuers. They weren't here for a peaceful first contact. They were here to erase the child from existence. The little alien cried out, its voice, a terrified chime in Rhea's comes. "No! They will kill us both." But as Rhea looked from the trembling child in her arms to the monstrous ship in the sky, something inside her solidified. Fear was replaced by cold, hard resolve. Her voice dropped, taking on the hardened edge of a veteran soldier. "Let them try." With one arm she shielded the child, pressing him against her chest. With the other, she slammed a fist against the activation panel on her wrist. The plates of her exosuit locked into place with a series of sharp, metallic clicks. A brilliant blue electric pulse surged across her armor, its light reflecting in the child's wide, terrified eyes. The warship didn't wait. A hatch opened in its belly, and a swarm of enemy drones poured out. A downpour of black, weaponized rain against the red sky. Rhea didn't hesitate. She charged. Her reinforced boots slammed into the Martian soil, launching her forward like a missile aimed at the heart of the swarm. She met the first drone head-on, her armored fist punching straight through its central chassis. Metal shattered like glass. Without breaking stride, she grabbed a second drone by its rotor, using its own momentum to swing it around in a devastating arc. She let go, and it became a projectile, crashing into a cluster of its brethren. Sparks and shrapnel exploded in a shower of destruction. The child, held tightly against her, watched in absolute awe. He had expected to die. He had expected this human to run, or to hand him over. Instead, she was fighting. For him. "You're protecting me," he stammered, his voice filled with disbelief. Rhea didn't slow down. She dodged a laser blast, twisted, and kicked another drone out of the air. "That's what humans do," she replied, her words clipped and focused. But the drones were just the opening act. A shadow fell over them, and the ground shook with a heavy impact. A massive mech landed just behind her. It towered over them, a bipedal war machine armed with twin plasma cannons on its shoulders. Its voice, a synthesized, booming command, echoed across the plains. "Return." "Return the air?" "This does not concern humans." Rhea pivoted, placing herself squarely between the giant machine and the boy. "So Luke," up her own eyes, blazing with a defiant fire that rivaled the mech Issi energy core. "It concerns me now." The mech wasted no more time on words. It fired. A blinding lance of pure plasma shot from its cannon, a searing white spear meant to vaporize them both. But Rhea stood her ground. She raised her left arm, her gauntlet flaring to life. She caught the blast. The energy, impossibly hot and powerful, was absorbed by her armor. Her gauntlet glowed white-hot, then blinding blue, straining under the load. With a guttural roar, she redirected it. She didn't just block the attack. She weaponized it, sending the full force of the plasma beam straight back at its source. The redirected blast struck the mech with catastrophic force. It was blown off its feet, its own power tearing half its armor plating away. It crashed to the ground, smoking and sparking, its systems failing. Rhea didn't give it a chance to recover. She marched toward the smoking wreck, each step a heavy, deliberate thud on the Martian soil. Her voice was a low growl, filled with a righteous fury. "You chased a child," she said, her voice dripping with contempt. "Across galaxies. For power. For control." She stood over the crippled machine, raising her glowing fist. "Not today. One final strike." The sound was like thunder hitting steel. Her punch caved in the mech's cockpit, and the machine went dark, collapsing into a heap of defeated metal. And then silence. The only sound was the wind whistling across the desolate plains of Mars. The battle was over. The drones were wreckage, the mech was scrap, and the warship in the sky seemed to pause, a Safine soak. The child slowly stepped out from behind her, placing his tiny, three-fingered hand on the hot metal of her armor. "You saved me." "Why?" he asked, his voice now soft with wonder, not fear. Rhea knelt, the servos in her suit whining softly. She looked at the small, glowing beam, and a genuine smile touched her lips. "Because no child deserves to be hunted," she said gently. "And because on Earth, we protect our own." He looked up at her, his huge, dark eyes shining with something she recognized instantly. "Hope. Can I stay with you?" Without a word, Rhea carefully lifted him into her arms. He was so light, so fragile, yet he had endured so much. "You already are," she whispered. From the top of a Martian ridge, the two of them stood together and watched as the massive enemy warship, defeated and denied its prize, slowly turned and retreated back into the clouds. A lone human warrior and a lost alien child, their silhouettes framed against the setting Martian sun. This wasn't just the end of a battle. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a story that history would never, ever forget. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tailies from the edge of the universe. See you next time.